Hi, everybody. This is the first of two videos on how to do your newsletters, this terrific newsletter. And this is being sent to all members that have expressed interest in helping with this newsletter process. So this first video will be on storage and creation. So creating the newsletters and where you're going to store them. So this is the step before we actually move the information onto the email site. And that'll be in the second video. So we're going to use MailChimp. So once we get through this process, I'll post another video on how MailChimp works. And I'm going to be available to train whoever wants to be trained on it. We can work together once you're ready to go public with your information. So let's turn back to storage. The storage here, the reason for Google Drive is it's interactive, so anyone with a link can work on the project. And since we span so many time zones, it's not a bad idea that if people are doing stuff, they can edit when they can. And then you can come together as a group to edit the final copy, and then you're ready to go to print, so to speak. So everyone is going to be getting this link to a link to this video and a link to the newsletter file. And I've opened it up on the file. So this is what the file looks like. I'm only going to look at the campaigns, the master file and the archive we can talk about later. So campaign 1 is where we're starting. Campaign 2 is ready to go, but it's just a blank folders at this point in time. So I'm going to click on newsletter campaign number 1. And you can see that there are 4 newsletters that are scheduled in this campaign. When I was working with my consultant designing the process for Wiseman, he suggested 4 newsletters, 1 theme. So the idea here is to develop some timing. How often do you want these to go out? And to have them all ready to go, or at least 2 of them ready to go. And then we'll just future date them on the MailChimp site. So basically we load everything and it's good for 4 messages going out. So where this is starting is let's look at the top line stuff, right? So you're going to do a campaign. So campaign number 1. So we're going to have 4 newsletters. So what theme are you going to pick? What's the story you're going to tell over 4 periods, 4 newsletters? And it can go in here. So people can type this in here and it should be concise what's in the heart of the matter. Is it the story of Mathare? Is it the story of the leaders? Is it the story of the community center, the trials and tribulations of getting this going? Uh, Whatever you want to do should go in here. Also, when it's going to run. So are these going to be weekly, bi-weekly? I wouldn't go monthly. So you're going to have a to and a from and a to date. And then each newsletter will have a title and a little bit of a headline on what you're going to do in each one. So this way, it's a good opportunity to actually strategize the individual newsletters and how do they relate to the theme? Is it on message, not on message? So it's an opportunity for everybody to have a look and say, yeah, you know what? I think we're right. I think we need a little tweaking. Before you get into writing it, you have the outline. And underneath this, I've actually put in some tips and tricks around content, 5 to 800 words for a story, and then what matters, rules of thumb, value, subject line, scannable structure, all of the stuff that you need to think about in here. Number of images, right? So how many images should you be putting into it? 1 to 3, it looks like. What works well? What hurts? And then some tips on using links. So you've got a kind of a guide here as well as to how to set up your project, your process, and this can be duplicated as you go through each flight. So as I said, flight is 4. Call them a flight. I don't know if that's the right word, but anyway. So um, we're going to go back to the campaign. So you can see here now each newsletter has its own space in here. So I click on newsletter 1. Let's start with 1. They're all the same. In newsletter 1, there's 3 files. There's references. So I've added some references for the first one, but this is just, you don't have to use any of these. So I've added a few things that may be interesting, some links. And the reason we're adding them here is that they're accessible to everyone. So once we move to the actual newsletter, when you build it in this process. Everything's in one location, so you can build right in here. And when it's here, once we go live to the MailChimp, it's easily to copy and paste it. That's the idea, copy and paste. So I put the couple of things, Anthem's short video, the hamper program, community planning link. You don't have to use all of these. They're just here. Maybe you use one of them, two of them, whatever, but it's where they're all located for this specific newsletter. As we move along, there'll be other things, other links, not specific to that specific newsletter. So anyway, so that um, that's the thinking there. So we've got references. Um, I'm trying to go back here. Okay, sorry. Images, I don't have any, it's blank. So whatever images you want to use, the 1 to 3 images that will work for this particular newsletter, drop them in here. And then there is the workspace. So you can see here, it's divided into 4 separate sections. Your subject, your preview text that's going to be used in the email itself. Then we've got the author's editor's note. This will be either from Agneta or from Anthem. Like, what's in the heart of the matter? What are we trying to tell here? There's going to be 4 newsletters. We're going to talk about whatever we're going to talk about over the next month, whatever the period is, and then a little bit about what to expect. Then the lesson story, personal. And I think Adria mentioned it's got to be personal. You got to be personal with this. Then we go to the ask, which is, well, I'm thinking contribute and volunteer. Like, we want contributions and we want help. Very specific. And then there's the Wiseman connection. You can get rid of this. This is old stuff. I've just left it in here as a connection if you want it to the men's group. I don't know if it belongs here. I'm not going to remove it. That's your call. So you can see that you can work in here. Anybody can work in here. My suggestion would be that you load in your images. Everybody load whatever images you want. You load in the references. You create this document. Somebody should be in charge of starting it. And then from that piece, like, the other people come in and edit it. So you've got a kind of a structure. So I'm thinking Anthem and Agneta, you should start it. It should be your story. Who's ever doing it, it's Anthem or Agneta. You should fill this out. And then the other folks, Adria, Sharon, and Bob, come in and look at it, give it a critical view, add and critique the content. And then you all get together. Once the critiques are done, whatever timeline you set up, you all come in, and then you just edit it online. You just make the final changes, then that's ready to go. You may want to just do this one at a time, or I would suggest trying to do 2, and then we can get 2 in the hamper. Then we can work on 2 more. And once you get the hang of it, you can do 4 at a time. It shouldn't take that long. Actually, in the together meeting, most of this editing can be done offline, I would think. Not to Bob, Adria, and Sharon. This could be done once Agneta or Anthem has put in the material, and you can just put in your editing. You can put a color in, you can put your name in there. It should be discernible as your edit. And then once all the edits are in, then it's ready to go. It shouldn't be too long a process. Don't recreate it. Like, if it's good and then it's good, it may need some tweaking for English, and you can always put it through AI if you want to. It's an option to see if there's a better language that can be used. But anyway, so that's the shtick. So we're ready to go. We're ready to get cracking on this. So I'm going to send the link to this training, plus the link to this space in an email, and let's discuss via email response. You can reply all to the email when we can get started on this. And I can sit in on if we needed another call to get going on it, that could be set up as well. I don't know what you guys want to do, but anyway, let me know what you want to do. How does that sound? And with that, I'm signing off. Take care. If I can, stop recording. Hold on. Come on, recording. Oh, somewhere in here. There we go.